Here are my 3 games. 2 early, 1 late. Eagles-Browns. Eagles and Browns. The Browns are 6-3. Can they go to 7-3 and send the Eagles to 3-6-1? Could you imagine? Oh my gosh. Browns being 4 games over 500 after 10 weeks. Woo. Obviously, a very tall order because Myles Garrett, their Defensive Player of the Year candidate, is not going to play. He's on the COVID-19 list, and he may have it, is the question, because he has been out with an illness all week. Is it possible that he is COVID positive, and that's why he's on the list, and that is for down the road. But how do the Browns play, man? You got Chubb back. We saw that he did come up with a big run towards the end of the game against Houston to wrap things up and step out of bounds. The 2, we didn't even discuss about that, about how that was in terms of fantasy and bad beats and all that sort of stuff.
Not great.
But how are the Browns going to look passing game against this Eagles team that it's time, man? It's time, because if Chubb runs all over them the same way that he ran all over Dallas, and if the Eagles fall to 3-6-1, if they are struggling on the offensive end, Zach Ertz is not going to be back for this game. If they cannot get things going offensively, is it time to kick the tires on Jalen Hurts at 3-6-1? Or you go 4-5-1, and then you're just sitting there at the top of first place in the NFC East, and your next game is on a Monday night against Seattle when it's true measuring stick time? Or will the Browns bust out the whooping stick on them? This is something to keep an eye on. That's my first game. My second game to keep an eye on is Tennessee and Baltimore. Okay, Tennessee coming off of that loss against Indianapolis, and it was troubling for them. They broke down in pretty much every phase. Special teams, their offense came out smoking, then couldn't do anything, and then defensively, Phillip Rivers and Nyheim Hines it was Nyheim Hines' birthday, literally, figuratively. And then the Ravens. Okay, I don't think I need to just set the table up any more than the fact that they lost to the New England Patriots, and they need this win. They need it. If they have any desire to go into Thanksgiving with a shot to beat Pittsburgh and a shot at the AFC North, they've got to win this one. And this is also crucial that if these 2 teams wind up in second place, and you have Cleveland performing the way it is performing, and you have Miami performing the way that it is performing, and you have the Raiders the way that they are performing, could this be a tiebreak that knocks one of these teams out of the 7th seed and sends them home for the playoffs?
I like where your head's at.
You gotta look further down the road than just these 4 quarters. It's a big game. Right now it's Ravens 7th seed, Titans 9, sniffing it. Then you also got the Patriots improving. So that's a backdrop of this game. And then the third game that's under the radar for me in the late window, Dallas, Minnesota. Won't get too deep because this does involve my higher register later on in this show. But the Minnesota Vikings, once upon a time, 1-5, have a chance to get back to 5-5. And with all the troubles I just mentioned with Philadelphia, with the Giants on their bye week, they had 3 more players put on the COVID list today, with their coach having changed the offensive line coordinator for various reasons. They're on a bye week, and we know the Washington football team is also still right there with the same number of wins that they have. How's Andy Dalton going to look? Because, again, it still is a Dallas offense that still has Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Zeke Elliott. Let's go. And Minnesota's playing that much better. And Minnesota needs this as much as Dallas does, too. Can't wait for it. Normally, Dallas, Minnesota, we're talking about that till the cows come home. But we're talking about the nationally televised games. And with Kirk Cousins coming off of his first career win on Monday Night Football, how can he follow that up? Will Dalvin Cook run all over Dallas the way that so many running backs have been able to? Those are my 3 under-the-radar games for Week 11 right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.